Hello and welcome to our Cool Science 2021 Virtual Art Exhibition celebration for Kansas City participants. Here are this year's middle school honorees. Runner-up,
Courtney Ogle, 6th grade, Richland, Missouri, Richland Elementary School. I was very excited when my art teacher told me that our class would be participating in the Cool Science Art Competition. I thought that it would be very interesting to learn about ways to keep cool in heat waves and warm in blizzards, because I live in an area that experiences both. I addressed the challenge question by showing different methods to stay cool in a heat wave and warm in a blizzard. When I created my art, I wanted to use big pictures and lots of colors to really catch the attention of the people looking at it. From this competition, I learned more about weather and how to be prepared for it. I hope that others that see and learn the same thing, so if they were ever in an emergency, they might remember what I drew.
runner-up,
Peyton Ward, 6th grade, Waynesville, Missouri, Richland Elementary School. What inspired me to make this artwork is that my family had once been in a blizzard. We had to go to my grandparents because we had no power. I want mine to relate to people by showing someone getting through the storm. During the contest, I learned to really make things pop in my drawing. The challenge during the contest was making the signs readable from a distance. So, I made the signs bigger and added designs to notice it. This project was made to aware people what to do to protect yourself and others. I hope my artwork helps people to inform others or to donate to charities supporting this cause. I hope if a heat wave or blizzard occurs, we can prevent illnesses from happening.
runner-up,
Veronica Sinha, 6th grade, Overland Park, Kansas, Lakewood Middle School. I chose the topic of how severe storms form. I presented the topic in the form of a sequence of events. I'm trying to inform people on how storms form and a few properties of them. I created my art in that way because I love using watercolors, and I feel it's easier to make things in a more minimalistic way. I hope they'll understand how a storm forms and not have any misconceptions about them. The competition did inspire me to use mediums in a new way. I don't enjoy using colored pencils, but these colored pencils are better quality, and I learned how to make better art using them. I've never used art to make things informative, so this was a nice change of pace. Showing the steps isn't an easy task using only visuals, but it worked out well. I was inspired due to the fact that I think storms are pretty interesting and also great watercolor opportunities. It's also cool that I can use art in a way that shows people about true facts and events. I learned so much during this project. First of all, I didn't even know that there was so much rising and falling between warm and cold airs. It's kind of like a tug of war if you think about it. Mind you, I didn't think the weather was particularly interesting. I didn't even know there were 3 types of storms. I also learned how to use art materials in different ways.
winner,
My name is Brooklyn Larcher. I'm in 6th grade and live in Richland, Missouri. I go to Richland Elementary School. My artist statement is, I was very excited when my art teacher told me that our class would be participating in the Cool Science Art Competition. I thought that it would be very interesting to learn about ways to keep cool in heat waves and warm in blizzards, because I live in an area that experiences both. I addressed the challenge question by showing different methods to stay cool in a heat wave and warm in a blizzard. When I created my art, I wanted to use big pictures and lots of colors to really catch the attention of the people looking at it. From this competition, I learned more about weather and how to be prepared for it. I hope that others that see and learn the same thing, so if they were ever in an emergency, they might remember what I drew.
winner,
Hi, I am Laquita Brewery. I'm in 7th grade and my hometown is Overland Park, Kansas. I go to Pleasant Ridge Middle School. I address the challenge question in my artwork by demonstrating how a severe storm forms and how people react to it. In my artwork, I'm trying to tell you how a thunderstorm forms and how it can affect people. I created my artwork in the way I did because I wanted people who like learning things visually to understand clearly about how a thunderstorm forms with a little bit of art. I drew my artwork with colored pencils, and using colored pencils isn't new to me, so I didn't work with any art materials in a new way. The art competition did help me with figuring out how to include science in my artwork. I hope people will learn how a severe thunderstorm occurs and what makes it occur. I learned that a thunderstorm occurs when warm, moist air and cold air collide. I also learned that a thunderstorm cloud first starts out as a cumulus cloud. Then, warm, moist air goes upwards and collides with the cold air, causing a thunderstorm and lightning to occur. Lastly, the warm, moist air condenses into rain, causing the thunderstorm to wear out. Something that inspired me was how the sky goes from light to dark when a thunderstorm occurs, which is why I added the sky color transformation in my artwork. Something else that inspired me was how me and my sister feel happy when a thunderstorm is gone, which is why in my artwork I added 2 kids who were very happy once the thunderstorm wore out. This competition helped me embrace my art and science skills.
Winner:
Victoria Martinez, 7th grade, Olathe, Kansas, Oregon Trail Middle School. In my artwork, I display how a thunderstorm forms. I divided my paper into 3 sections, 1 for each stage. I used colored pencils as my media. I have worked with colored pencils in the past and am pleased with the outcome they create. The section on the left, or the cumulus stage, I show that hot air rises from the ground and forms clouds. Next is the mature stage. In the mature stage, thunder booms and lightning strikes. The hot air turns into rain, and if it rains for a long time, there could be a flood. Lastly, the dissipating stage. This is where the rain stops and the sun peeks through the clouds. If you're lucky, you might see a rainbow. What inspired me was that I haven't experienced extreme weather before other than thunderstorms. Thunderstorms are also one of my favorite types of weather. I learned how thunderstorms form and am now interested in learning more about the weather. I hope people learn how a thunderstorm forms and get curious to learn more about them.